All right, welcome to the show, y'all. I got a lot going on today, a lot of stuff to get to. So in just a second, Trump is being protested in Israel at the Knesset. He also begged the president of Israel to pardon Benjamin Netanyahu. Again, this is in front of the Knesset. We also have bragging about war crimes and genocide right in front of our faces. We do have the good news of 20 hostages released on the Israeli side and nearly 2,000 hostages released on the Palestinian side. But we'll get to the fallout and what's about to happen right now. We also have a whole bunch of ICE updates. ICE kidnapped an autistic boy. They assaulted a journalist. They tackled a teenager. They did a hit and run or multiple hit and runs in their cars. And we also have in Portland inflatable cartoon characters mocking ICE to their face, which is quite a sight to behold, if I'm being honest with you. And then later on, Joe Rogan is desperate to hide the fact that he was a Trump meat rider. He's doing a full-on U-turn and trying to get out of there as quick as possible. We'll talk about that. And the ceasefire has already been violated by Israel. There's a lot on that too. And the $190 million scam, which just came from the Trump world. This is crazy. This is crazy. Somebody knew Trump's inner moves. They engaged in the world's most obvious insider trading. They shorted the crypto market and made $190 million. It's just an insane, insane story. I mean, it has to be illegal. It has to be. So we'll talk about that and more. You guys know the drill. Everybody, please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you absolutely nothing. And, of course, thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. We couldn't do it without you. Remember, this is real independent media. We also have Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. You guys can sign up there if you'd like to support Crystal Kyle and Friends and get the full interviews. And, of course, you can also go sub to the Corin's World YouTube channel. We are back tonight, y'all. We are back tonight at the Corin's World YouTube channel, so you don't want to miss any of that. All right, without any further ado, let's get it started. All right, guys, so the good news is 20 Israeli hostages have been released and nearly 2,000 Palestinian hostages have been released. The bad news is Israel is already violating the ceasefire and they're about to make it way, way worse. So let me walk you through this. So Trump goes to Israel and does, a victory lap here. He gives a speech in the Knesset. Now, at one point, he walks up to the podium to start to give a speech, but it wasn't his turn yet, so you had to have some Israeli official tap him on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, sir, it's not your turn yet." Now, eventually, he goes back up there, and man, this is classic Trump. He says the quiet part loud. He doesn't realize that a lot of these things he's saying are the things that happen in smoke-filled back rooms. He's too stupid not to say them in front of the public, and he leaves everybody going, "Did he really just say that?" So here we go. Let's start with this one. First, the open admission of how corrupt the Israel lobby is and how they buy all of our politicians. Watch this.
Broken promises from many other American presidents. You know that. They kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam? Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up.
Now, I need you all to realize how immensely gross this is. Miriam Adelson is a billionaire. She got Sheldon Adelson's money. Sheldon Adelson, of course, passed away, so Miriam gets the money. And Miriam spent $100 million, gave $100 million to Trump. And the quid pro quo was basically, you need to be a cuck to Israel. You need to let them annex the entire West Bank. By the way, that's what's happening now as well. You need to move the embassy to Jerusalem. That's what he's talking about now, bragging about the corruption of a pro-Israel billionaire, giving him $100 million and him doing the bidding of that pro-Israel billionaire and the Israeli government. This is cartoonish at this point.
Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I can think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got $60 billion in the bank, $60 billion. I think she's saying no more. And she loves Israel, but she loves it, and they would come in, and her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. He was a very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up, can I come over and see you? I say, Sheldon, I'm the president of the United States. It doesn't work that way. He'd come in. But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen.
Okay, that's another piece of land that was Syria's that they stole for Israel. Trump illegally said, we're recognizing the Golan Heights as Israel's, even though the entire international community goes, but that's Syrian territory. I don't care. They gave me money, so I'm giving them what they want. Guys, this is crazy. We are so through the looking glass here. And I don't know what's darker, the fact he's saying this out loud in public, knowing there will be zero consequences for it, or the fact that the Knesset is cheering and clapping and laughing at the open, brazen corruption and countless violations of international law.
Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean, she loves this country.
This is so disturbing. This is so disturbing. Again, this is just like, he admitted. It's that meme. He admitted. The quiet part out loud. Oh, my God.
She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say.
Guys, I am floored. I am absolutely floored at this. I mean, he's making the case about how the Israel lobby needs to register as a foreign agent. Right now, AIPAC doesn't register as a foreign agent. Well, here we know pro-Israel donors in the U.S., billionaires with dual citizenship, clearly, they're repping Israel. They're backing Israel. They're not thinking, America first, my ass cheeks. This is America last. This is Israel first. And you're bragging about it in front of the world with no shame whatsoever. Oh my God, if any other president gave this speech, it would be over, bro. It would be a wrap. You know, it sure would be nice to have an opposition party in this country that could call this out and slam him for it. No, instead what'll happen is the Democrats will keep quiet and try to suck up to the same Israeli billionaires, hoping that they'll pick them. How are you going to out-corrupt Donald Trump, right? His whole project is based on complete and utter fascism and authoritarian control, a police state, martial law, and cucking himself to the billionaires. How are you going to out-cuck yourself to the billionaires? And so it's almost like you should oppose the entire project. Oh, my God.
We love you. Thank you, darling, for being here. That's a great honor. Great honor. She's a wonderful woman.
Jesus Christ. Guys, we're just getting started, though. Ready? Protest erupts as Trump delivers his remarks. A member of the Knesset yells at Trump. Here we go. Let's see what happens here.
And they somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years, and I've seen it over and over again.
להוציא את חבר הכנסת עודה, להוציא אותו מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה, החוצה.
Please expel this Knesset member. Please expel this Knesset member.
להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף. להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם.
Expel Knesset member Kasif out of the hall. Please expel him immediately.
Sorry for that, Mr. President.
Now, I got to be honest, I don't know what this protest was. It's very possible it could be the Ben Gvir or Smotrich types, the super far right, that thinks, oh, I'm not even in favor of getting our hostages back, because in order to do that, we have to release 2,000 Palestinian hostages, and I want to keep them and torture them. So there's some faction that's super far right, which is like, I don't understand why we don't just nuke Gaza right this second. And so it's possible that those people are protesting, but of course it's also possible that the left is protesting him. Now, there's not much of an Israeli left, if an Israeli left at all. I saw the New York Post said, he was protested by left-wing members of the Knesset, but it's the New York Post. They're fucking useless. It's like toilet paper is what you use their fucking articles for. So I don't know if that's true, but the bottom line is he was protested while he started his speech. Now, I still have more, though, because here he is. During his speech, the Knesset, Trump urged Israel's president to pardon Netanyahu. Now, remember, Netanyahu is the prime minister. He's the one that has most of the actual power. But I don't know. Does the president even have pardon power in Israel? I'm not sure. But either way, Trump's out there going, why don't you pardon him? Watch this.
These two men are good men right here. Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon. Come on.
God, what a joke world we live in. Holy shit. This is so crazy. Remember, Netanyahu, not only is he a genocidal war criminal who's up on war crime charges, right? He's also insanely corrupt. And he was up on corruption charges in Israel before the genocide. And now he's using the genocide as an excuse to keep postponing the date of I guess, I don't know if it's his sentencing or whatever, or if they read the verdict or whatever, but he keeps postponing. Oh, sorry, I can't. I'm busy bombing Palestinian babies. Can't come to the courtroom today. Tee-hee-hee. That's what's going on. And here's Trump going, why don't you pardon him? What a great guy he is. I like when he bombs babies, personally. That's what I like. I also like when he's very corrupt and obviously corrupt, just like me. Insane. Insane. Look at this long clap break for pardoning the corrupt war criminal.
By the way, that was not in the speech, as you probably know. But I happen to like this gentleman right over here, and it just seems to make so much sense. You know, whether we like it or not, this has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. This has been one of the greatest wartime presidents.
It's not fucking wartime, it's genocide time, Jesus Christ.
And cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that? All right, enough controversy for the day, right? It's actually, I don't think it's very controversial. So, I see so popular. You are a very popular man. You know why? Because you know how to win.
He's saying that to BIBI. BIBI is not popular by any fucking metric. He's not popular in Israel. He's certainly not popular in the world. This is insane. Insane, bro. Insane. All right, but I'm still not done. So now, this is the part where he brags about the genocide and the war crimes and all the weapons that he's giving Israel for them to do those things.
The United States has the greatest and most powerful military in the, right now, history of the world. I can tell you we have weapons that nobody's ever dreamt of. I only hope we never have to use them. I rebuilt the military. I was proud to do it, but some of the things I hated to do. I hated certain of the weapons because the level of power is so enormous, it's so dangerous, so bad. But we have to do what we have to do. We make the best weapons in the world, and we've got a lot of them. And we've given a lot to Israel, frankly. And BIBI would call me so many times, can you get me this weapon, that weapon, that weapon? Some of them I never heard of, BIBI, and I made them. But we'd get them here, wouldn't we? And they are the best. They are the best. But you used them well. It also takes people to know how to use them.
If it hasn't hit you yet, it's at this point it should hit you that both Israel and the U.S. are going to go down in history like Nazi Germany. I hope you understand that. I hope you realize that. It's in this moment right now. Because just imagine what he's saying, spliced with a bunch of videos of Palestinian babies with their heads blown off, children starving to death, hospitals being bombed, schools being bombed, humanitarian tents being bombed, World Central Kitchen workers being bombed. Just imagine. Imagine splicing this with one of those aerial videos of what Gaza looks like now, where there's literally not a single thing standing. Everything is a pile of rubble. What was there, Hamas in 95% of the buildings in Gaza when there's only 30,000 Hamas members and there were over 2 million people in Gaza? Really? So just imagine that, because that's how the world is going to be looking at this. Not only right now, but as I said, in the future, in the textbooks, people are going to look back on this. I mean, shit, literally right up there with the evil guy with the freaky mustache. Literally right up there. I mean, listen, he knows how to use those weapons. He sure does. He aims it right at those toddlers and goes, pew, pew. That's what he does.
But so many that Israel became strong and powerful, which ultimately led to peace. That's what led to peace.
Oh. Now, by the way, let me point out, in fact, there's so much information on this, I'm going to do a whole separate segment on it, but this is total bullshit. Israel has already violated the ceasefire. They've already violated the peace deal. They are announcing they are going to further violate it. So the only good news that's come out is the 20 Israeli hostages released, but the 2,000 Palestinian hostages being released. By the way, they said you're not allowed to record their reactions. They're not allowed to celebrate when they get given back to their families in Palestine. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We don't want to give you any fucking, moment that can be recorded. So you're not allowed to express gratitude over this. You're not allowed to be happy over this. You're not allowed to have emotions over this. Whereas on the Israeli side, of course, that's not the case, right? But understand that, man. Understand what's going on here, that they've already violated the deal, and they're going to violate it further. I'm telling you right now, hear me now, quote me later. Within the fucking week, Israel will be saying, oh, Hamas violated the deal, therefore all bets are off, and we're going back to what we were doing. And it won't be the case that Hamas violated the deal. In fact, they were well within their rights. If they actually abided by the letter of the law of the deal, they wouldn't have even released the 20 Israeli hostages. Why? Because Israel was bombing during the time frame where the ceasefire was supposed to be in effect. So again, I'm going to do a whole separate segment on this now. But the thing that's driving me crazy is the idiots doing a fucking victory lap over this, pretending like, oh yeah, it's over, it's done, the war's over. War. Everything's great, everything's going to go back to normal now. Like, are you insane? Gaza doesn't even fucking exist anymore. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people killed, people still starving. And you think Israel's going to go, all right, yeah, go ahead. We'll allow the material in. We'll help you rebuild. Everything will be hunky-dory. Are you insane? No, they're going to finish the genocide. They're going to finish the ethnic cleansing. They're going to steal the land. They're going to reoccupy it. They're going to resettle it. They're also going to take the West Bank. It's on like Donkey Kong. They also want to finish toppling the regime in Iran. This is what's going on. And so this is all bullshit that it's all theater. It's all optics. This is what Trump does, right? This is what he's smart about. He's smart about being the biggest bullshitter in the world and putting on the biggest show in the world and duping rubes into saying, oh, well done, Mr. President, well done. I'm already seeing it now. That trigonometry idiot was out there like, oh, can people with Trump derangement syndrome admit they were wrong? No, we were the most right of anybody ever in all of human history, actually. You had Piers Morgan is out there saying a similar thing. Oh, the most amazing accomplishment of any president ever, sir. Really? You guys don't want to wait a fucking week to see what happens? Because I guarantee you, it's going to be fucking ugly. It's already ugly. Again, I'll do a separate segment on all the times they've already violated the peace agreement. Now, go ahead and talk about that, Piers. Go ahead and talk about that trigonometry boy. Go ahead. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because you're fucking cucks. You're completely ridiculous. You try so hard to bend over backwards to fucking please Donald Trump. Meanwhile, he humiliates himself and you on a daily basis. Right? Why don't you actually tell the truth? You're not going to tell the truth because it ruins your fucking narrative. And your narrative is Israel good, Trump good, liberals and leftists bad. Well, that already has blown up, as I will demonstrate for you. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.